Hey guys, okay, let's continue with our project working on this sci-fi scene here. I'm going to start by adding these panels, these panels here, because I think they add some nice detail to that. So I'm going to do them on the side here, so let me just rotate these on the x-axis. Let me first turn off the lights here because it's slowing down uh, my computer. So you can see we have these, I don't know what shape this is. Hello Ashton Hunter, how are you doing? Just going to add an array on the y-axis like this. I also want to give this a solidify modifier. Then a bevel, just a small bevel, out of move. Make sure that have something like that. We're working on these panels here. Good to know, Ashton. Good to know. So let's add a loop here and add an extra loop around there. Going to add another one right around there. Now I can scale this vertex in, maybe even scale this on the x-axis like this. So if I select this face, I should get something like this. And we might also need another vertex here. So sorry, another edge loop here. Let's see, and straighten these vertices. Then I can delete this side. Then use the, how are you doing? Good to see you. Then sorry, the array and then the solidify modifier. And just make sure to remove any doubles if you have any. That's nice. Now what I can do is just pull this and we have something like that. I also want to have these edges rounded off. So let me first pull these here on this so that our bevel works correctly. But I also want to have something at the back here, so I'm just going to select this inside loop here, hit F to turn it into a face, and then separate, just hit F and then hit Y to separate it into its own mesh. So we can pull it down like that. And do the same for this side here. Hit F and then Y and then drag that down. There's an option to merge this. There's a merge option in the array. If you hit that, you should get rid of that seam there. Now we have that panel. So we can use the metal material we created yesterday for this. And now we have our panel. Something like that. So let's just bring that into our scene. Just rotate it at 45 degrees. Something like that. Increase count. Let me bring back my lights. I'm just going to change the material to something different, maybe to the plus to this white material, so that it's not too reflective. Let me bring back, okay, the amino occlusion is still there. We might need to rebake the lights in a bit, but yeah, so I'm going to use this panel for a lot of different areas. So if we select this, I think I can add an empty here to use as a mirror object for our panel. So just going to add an empty there. Now I can select this and add another mirror modifier. This time we're going to use an object, and this empty is going to be our object, so that we can mirror this on this side. And also, hello world of science, how are you doing? Mirror this. I also want to mirror this up on the Z axis like so. I think our lights are a bit too powerful, so I'm going to reduce them just a bit. So let me just select these lights, bring them around there, and reduce these to about 10. Also, let me give it our mesh color. I think that looks better. Let me amplify this to about 1000. Sorry about that. My mic just disconnected for some reason. But let's continue and see. Okay, this time let's give this a different material. Let's see. Let's try. Yeah. There's an issue. There was an issue with my mic. I'm not sure what happened, but. Okay, now let's see where we can place these panels. Just going to scale them down. I think I'm just going to use this metal. I'm just going to use a metal material here. I'm just going to have this on the ground just to break up the floor just a bit. Okay, I think this is not too organized. Let's see what else can we add here. Let's start working on some cables here, because they usually make things look a bit more well connected. Just going to first pull these lights down a bit, and I think if I just change the design of these lights a bit, just subdivide them, select this top part, just bend the lights just a bit. I think they would work better like that. Hey Pucho, how are you doing? Thank you for being around again. Now I think I'm going to add in some red stuff there for this hologram, so I'm just going to duplicate this, scale it up a bit, let's see, this time yeah, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just add in some of those dark red elements, but I don't want it to overpower everything else. Actually, I need these to be a separate material, so what I'm going to do is also break it up just a bit, so deleting some parts here. Let's work on some wires here. So we're going to add a curve object, rotate this 90 degrees. You want to have some wires hanging. I'm just going to turn this to automatic, go to the front view, just pull this wire to extend up here, then make a few subdivisions. Now I can turn on proportional editing and start pulling some of these wires, some of these down. What I'm also going to do is go to the curve data and change the depth just a bit so that we can see what we're working on here. Something like that. You can also pull some of them like this. Now let's work on the materials for this here. Let's see if we can find somewhere textures here. I'm just going to use this here. There's no reason for me to create. The stream is buffering a lot for you. Let me see. I just take here. It seems okay on my side. Just going to use this here. So let's get this. Okay. Hello AM Edits, how are you doing? Seems I can't use this image for some reason. It's corrupted. But I like this texture, so I'm just going to screenshot it. Let's go to paint. Again, I'm just prototyping this, so I'm not too worried about copyright and stuff. So I'm just going to copy that, save this into my textures. So it's this here. See how it comes out here. No, I don't think I hate this. How these lines kind of follow this curve. So if we use this as the base color, we can also use it as the bump map. Connect these to the normal. Let's reduce this a bit. And let's make this metallic and see how this looks. We can connect this again to the roughness as well, and we have our first wire. Now I also want something like a coil. Let's see, if you add a circle like this, let's use about 6 vertices, maybe 8. if you move this off the center of the pivot, you can use the screw modifier. So where is that? Screw modifier. Screw modifier. To screw this like that. Actually, I think it would be nice to have something outside here, like what we have added here. So let's scale this down like that. Move this closer, so we have something like that. Now, if you duplicate this, you make this kind of rope here, or you can make this kind of wire here. Then you just increase the iterations to have something like that. Now, if you want, you can even add a third one, like there. And just make this so we have something like that. You can give this the wire material. We just call this wire. Give it the wire material. I guess it's not too bad, but we can make it better by changing the projection type here. So if I select this, then Ctrl T, I can change the projection type from UV to object, so that we don't have auto stretching. And I just need to change the projection here. Let's try cube and see. That box. I think that's even much better. And we can scale this down. And what I'm going to do is have different colors for these wires. So what is my favorite thing about what? Just going to make this red. So I'm just going to add a color. Edits. I think you did finish your question. What is my favorite thing about what? So I can have this. Just need to assign this to this wire here. Remove the metalness. Doesn't seem. Okay, the only way it would apply if you give this a face is by if you give this a face. So change this to overlay. Can you make a rigid body car that can move from wheel by rotation and by adding a force from another object? I need something similar to that, but I'm not sure if you watch that and I just want something different. So this is going to be red. I'm also going to this time remove the roughness here. And so we have something like that. And I also want this to follow this curve, so I'm just going to let me first reduce the steps here. So I'm just going to add a curve. Select this curve like that. I can let me first change a few things here. Change the origin so that it starts here, and I also want to move this to this. Now you can see how that looks. I might just need to scale this down a bit, maybe. Let's see. I can move I'm seeing it from the preview window here. Just how things are going to look. I think what I'm going to do is extend this wire as well onto this side like that. Let me change the color here to blue so that it matches the colors we have. Fish in a barrel, private, I'm not sure what you mean. Let's bring back the lights and see. Think things are looking great. We just need some details on the walls here, so let's do that. So I'm just going to separate this wall here. Now let me just duplicate it so that the details are separate from the wall. Makes it easier for me to work like that. So I'm just going to hit P, separate this by selection. Now isolate that wall. Now I can add a few subdivisions and start pulling moving different faces. Can see, can add detail like that, can bevel this edge, maybe bevel that, maybe can add a loop there. And we can select this ring here, bevel that, select that inside loop. Oh, privet means hello in Russia. Hello there. Yeah. That's great. I'm learning new things here as well. New languages. Yes, so you can see we are starting to add a few details. I think we can bevel this as well. Push that in. Whatever you think will look good, you just have to add it and see how it will come out. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. Extruding some faces. Just going to select this entire patch and push it. Actually, no. Now I'm going to change these panels up just a bit so that we have some variation because I don't like how uniform this is. So what we can do is first duplicate this. Be something like that. Think we can change. Let me first go to the switch of these arrays just to see how things are. You can give this panel here a separate material. So let me duplicate this blue material we had. Assign that. Let's see if we make it a bit darker, but instead have something like that. Let me try using the white material we had. Maybe this is too blue. Nitini Shama, hey man, how are you? What's up? I remember you from Facebook, I think. Reduce. I'm not very sure about the color here on the ground, so let's see. Let's get it back to where it was. Let's bring back our lights. Let's rebake the lights and see how this looks. Thank you, man. Thank you. Let's bake this. Have you played with Mantaflow? No, I haven't. I've tried, but my PC can't really handle such simulations. They're too heavy for my PC. It takes a lot of hours to do anything with it. So just wait for this to bake and see how it looks. Yeah, thank you, Paicho. Thank you. I really need to upgrade my PC because there are a lot of things I want to do that it can't handle. Already this scene has started slowing down. Okay, I think this is extending too far out. Yeah, there are too many. Yeah, I really need to upgrade, but The piece I want is a bit too expensive for now, so I just need to be a bit careful there. Yeah, obviously there's a lot we can do here, but yeah, my scene is becoming too slow for me to continue from here. No props, just 40 minutes and you are here in your scene. Your workflow is fast and adaptive for me. Thank you. Really, hello Proxy, really admire your growing skills and work ethic. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wanted to do an animation. Maybe let me just show you how you can do a quick animation of this hologram. So if you animate the texture coordinates here, let me see. Okay, that's, we can animate this value. Are you interested in coming in for the Blender Nest podcast? I've been watching a lot of that, the Blender Nest podcast. They really have some interesting stories. If I was invited, I'd be very happy to join. But yeah, I don't think that is happening anytime soon. You can see now, with that bit of animation, you can see how everything looks even much better. You can even animate this globe. You can see there. I've talked about to Ducky 3D about you. He wanna hear from your side. Yeah. There's a lot of talent on that podcast. I don't know how I would fit in, but so I also want to animate this projection here. So for that, I think if we animated the, let's see, yeah, I think just animating this rotation value here, we can get some nice animations for that as well. Your scene is going like 10 FPS. Yeah, that's because I'm recording and I'm also creating a really heavy scene with lighting and everything. Let me first turn off the lights and see. Let's see. I'm not sure how that comes out on the stream, but for me the FPS is 25 frames per second. Now if you just add some movement, you can also play with this one here. Let me see what value I should animate here. So if we animate this as well, good. Can we try making scene world dark? Okay, I see what you mean. I'm making this dark so that you can see the lighting here for the projections for the hologram. Viewport playback is small. Okay, that's good to know. Let me reduce the lights and see how that looks. Turn off. Just have this as 1 and my outside light here, have it as something like 10, and let me see what else is giving me light here. I think that should be my environment lighting. So if I put this to point 1, and also this projector or hologram light, change it to something like 3, and I would have to rebake this lighting if I wanted to see anything different. Let me rebake this and see. I want to try this out in cycles, but if I did that on the stream, the stream will just crash, I think. Yeah, so this is what we have with the lighting reduced, which is not too bad, but it's a bit too dark for me. So let me just bring back the lights up. Let me see if I change this. I actually like the warm light from the outside. Let's see what else. Have a nice day, Pacho. I'm also going to be ending the stream just soon because yeah, it has got to a level where my PC can't really do much here. So yeah, thank you all for being around. I'll post this as a time lapse if you want to watch the entire project from start to finish. But before we end, let me try cycles here and see how much this will slow down.